Raid Shadow Legends 1.13 update champions. Let's get after it. We have the Wolrum Frost King, the Stag Knight, which is very amazing. We got the Ursine, Ice Crushers, Ironhide, and then the Frozen Banshee, which is very cool, and the Grave Chill Killer. Let's see what these champions are all about. We'll go over them. We'll talk about what they could be used in, what situations. We'll start off with Bannerlord, one of my favorites. Not only does he look truly amazing, I mean, look at the shield. It pulsates out, everything about it. The cloak, his stats are amazing. He's got really high HP, really high defense, not high attack, even though his attacks are based off of attack. That's fine. It doesn't matter. It's about what he's going to bring to the party and do for us for progression, for in-game. It doesn't matter. This guy is really amazing. 107 speed, very good. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each attack has a 50% chance to apply the 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. So this guy already, with a slow speed, is great for spiders, great for anything else in-game because this skill right here, the Hunt Master, attacks all enemies, does damage, 95% chance to apply a 60% decreased defense, and 95% chance to apply the decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. So you're going to get the extra 5% in the masteries. Right? The support masteries. I don't know why it's 95%. It's a little bit weird, but that's okay. We can pick up an additional 5% in support masteries. It will not be a problem. Then we'll be at 100% chance to apply the 60% decreased defense and the 50% decreased attack. This guy on a 3-turn cooldown, progression in the game, along with this passive right here, places a 50% increased accuracy buff on an ally for 1 turn each time that ally has a debuff resisted. No cooldown. So I'm assuming he does it every turn. Don't worry, we're going to level this guy to 60 right away. I've already got Warlum leveled up, and we're going to do the other one, the Frozen Banshee 2 to 60. We're going to have guides out on all these people because this guy really, for progression, for in-game, like even right now, I could use him on spiders as my opener to decrease defense, decrease attack, slow speed the spider, and then we're good to go with my Royal Guards and the Cold Hearts and whatever else you want to bring in there. But in the game in general, on a 3-turn cooldown to do this, to take much less damage, to deal more damage, to go through the waves on a 3-turn cooldown, along with slowing people down and giving you increased accuracy, it's a strong champion. It's a fun, strong champion. We'll talk about the Battle Pass, the Battle Season Pass in another video today. Don't worry about that. Right now, we're just going over the champions. So great champion there. We're going to jump over to, let's jump over to, I already made him 60. No, not Undead. We do have 2 in the Undead, but we're going to go over to Knights Revenant. So here we are. Warlum, the Frost King, right? The Lich King here. He's got really good stats all around. I mean, everything about him is great stat-wise. He's got an increased defense in Arena for 30%. So he's kind of supposed to be an Arena champion, maybe. You don't have to use him in that fashion. Everybody can get him if you pay the $25 for the Season Pass and then do your dailies, do your weeklies. You can get him if you spend the money. It's like the best deal out there that they've had really for the Season Pass it is. We'll talk about that in another video. But let's look at him. Obviously in Arena, if you go up against a Tormund, you're going to get frozen all the time because he's placing buffs non-stop. He's trying to freeze somebody, and then if he does freeze somebody, he's going to place a Perfect Veil on your lowest HP person, which can then be frozen by Tormund because he affects buffs. So be careful about using this guy in Arena. It looks like, they want to, try to put him there, but I would be very careful, especially up against the Tormund. So on his A1, he attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance to freeze, just like Sir Nick. And if you do get a freeze, you place a Perfect Veil on the ally with the lowest HP for 1 turn. All his attacks are based off of defense. That's really good. He's got pretty high defense. He's got high HP, high attack. So we don't have to worry about the attack because it's all based off of defense. Just keep that in mind. He has an AoE here on a 3-turn cooldown, 100% chance to place decreased crit damage, debuff on the enemy for 2 turns, and places an increased crit damage buff on allies for 2 turns. That's a 30% increase and a 30% decrease. So they're going to hit you 30% less on their crits with their critical damage, and you're going to have your critical damage increased by 30% more. Overall, it's a damage increase, yes, but is it worth slotting him in there? We're going to test that out. I've already got him at 60. I've already got him fully booked out. Is it worth really bringing him in there, getting that 30% increase on everybody, decreasing the enemy's critical damage? Is it worth slotting him into that slot, though? That is the big thing, because is his damage there? Are the rest of his skills going to be worthwhile? We'll have to test it out. I want to make sure, because this champion can be obtained by everybody if they get the Season Pass now and if they work hard to do the dailies and the weeklies. So that's his A2. It's on a 3-turn cooldown maxed out. You'll notice a lot of these champions take a lot of books, though, so be mindful of that as well. So this one is pretty cool. 4-turn cooldown. He places these buffs for 2 turns. You take 25% less damage overall from this skill right here, from this Strengthen. And then you get a 60% increase in defense for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. So this could be really cool. I did test this on stream before my account got temporarily banned like everybody else's. I tested it with 100% reduction in AoE damage with the clan boss, and it doesn't work that way. Future video, don't worry, it's coming out. It's coming out. I'm doing a lot of videos this morning. So that's Warlum. We'll test. We'll have to test this guy. I want him to be good because I want everybody out there to be able to get him and use him. So we'll do further testing on him. We have 2 undeads and we have 2 skinwalkers to go over next. So the skinwalker bears here. I love the way these bears look. I went in on stream and did their animation. I think he has this like pitfall trap tree that comes swinging off of some chains. If you put it on 1-time speed, it looks amazing. I don't think they're the greatest champions in the world, but again, more champions that I need to take to 60 and test out because you're able to get these champions. I definitely remember seeing him in it. I'm not sure if the Ice Crusher was in it or not. Let's look at the Ice Crusher. So he has a increased HP in all battles by 25%. He's only got 2 active abilities, and then he has a passive. He does have really high defense, 1,409, which all his skills are based off of defense. The other bear is also based off of decent defense. Attack when enemy has a 30% chance to place a blocks cooldown skill debuff for 1 turn, which means then they can only attack with their A1 because you're blocking out all their other skills. That's it. That's for his A1. I hope it hits hard because, he only has 2 attacks. This one is an AoE on a 3-turn cooldown, 100% chance to apply the decreased crit rate. So then you lower their crit rate by 30%, is I believe what it was. So then they can't crit as often. This is not critical damage. This is actual crit rate. So again, you're not going to force this into any kind of builds. Just lowering somebody's crit rate a little bit is not going to save your whole entire team. You're not going to worry about this too much against bosses, against PvP. It's just a little icing on the cake. But I do want to see if he can do damage on a 3-turn cooldown based off of defense. Doesn't say that here, but I'm assuming all his skills are based off of defense. Then his passive, decrease the damage all allies receive from critical hits by 15%. That's actually really strong. And then fills his turn meter by 5% whenever an enemy lands a normal, strong, or weak hit. So we'll have to test this out, see how much he can fill his turn meter when all 5 people in a wave are attacking or a whole bunch of spiderlings are attacking. Maybe we can get his turn around quicker, right? On a 3-turn cooldown, do some AoEs again. Could work. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. It's only, it's off of normal, strong, or weak. So that's going to happen a lot. Anytime you get a crit, you're going to reduce that damage by 15%. There's no cooldown on the skill either. Lots of testing needs to be done. I'll definitely do it. Don't worry about that. Then we have the Ironhide over here. So the Ironhide kind of plays off that decreased crit as well. He has a move in here. Not as high defense, really high HP, slow. I think they both have kind of slow speed, 93, 94 they do. So his attack, based off of defense, has a 50% chance to increase the cooldown of one of the target skills at random. Not very strong. That isn't very powerful. Then we have attack one enemy 2 times, 100% chance to decrease the target's turn meter by 5%, decrease their turn meter in 10% instead if they have a decreased attack up. Now he does do a decreased attack, we're about to see that. This is on a 3-turn cooldown. Again, this is not massive, but it does have a passive that plays into decreasing turn meter. So we'll see that in just a second. Attack all enemies, based off of defense, nice, 100% chance to place a 50% decrease attack. Now that's very strong with anybody that you have. We just saw that on the Stag Knight, who is amazing. He has it on the 3-turn cooldown, plus decreased defense. The Stag Knight is truly strong, and I believe can help everybody out there progress. This guy, decreased defense for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown isn't as strong, but still, decreasing defense on a boss or in waves or anything you do helps out your whole entire team. You take so much less damage. It's a very good move. Again, I want to see what kind of damage these guys can pump out with being based on defense. Each hit has a 100% chance to decrease the turn meter by 7.5%. Each hit also has a 100% chance to put one of the target skills on cooldown if the target is under decreased crit rate, which is what we saw on the other bear that has that. So maybe we'll play them together. Maybe we won't worry about this portion of the passive. We'll only worry about decreasing the turn meter along with this decreased turn meter. It's not huge, and decrease attack here. I'm not in love with this guy or really this guy yet. I do like the white one better. We'll have to test it out. We're just going to have to do testing. Fun times ahead with a whole bunch of new champions. So we've got 2 more undead. These 2 are kind of really special. This one you can unlock right away, the Frozen Banshee, as long as you pay the $25 along with the battle pass, right? This one you get, I think, for free right away or along the regular battle pass line without you having to spend any money. Grave Chill Killer. Let's see what she's all about. She's all about poisons pretty much. Attack one enemy has a 50% chance to place the 5% poison for 1 turn on our A1. A2 attacks one enemy, has a 100% chance to place a 30% decreased defense, but then she can also place a 60% decreased defense for 2 turns if the target is under a poison debuff. That's actually pretty strong for a rare to get a decreased defense. It's 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown if you max it out, but still pretty good for a rare that does a poison only for 1 turn. I'm kind of disappointed about that, but still it's a rare, so you know how they are with the rares. This is pretty cool. Decreased defense of 60%. It does need setup, and it's only for 2 turns on a 3-turn. And then this one is a passive, it says, right? I don't know why it says passive. It's an attack. That's weird. Anyways, there's a lot of errors with text in here. It's not a passive. It's an actual attack. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each attack has a chance to place the lower poisons, and then places the 5% poison debuff instead if the target is under poison sensitivity. Now, Frozen Banshee has the poison sensitivity, the only one that we've seen yet, and only 25%. We'll talk about that in just a minute. So 3-turn cooldown to do this. This person isn't crazy exciting. Pretty good for a rare. Really low stats, though. Low HP, low defense. I don't know where we're going to put her in. I really don't know where we're going to slot her in. We'll try. Frozen Banshee, though. This is the one that everybody is loving right now. She is a very, very strong champion for a rare. Really great stats, too. At least they give her high defense, so we can get her with high defense in the clan boss. And then, you know, decent HP, I guess. Good attack. 99 speed. Everything's great about her. We get an increased accuracy in all battles of 35. That's not bad, actually. And then here, so she attacks one enemy. Each hit has a 100% chance to apply a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns if the target is under poison sensitivity. Now she brings that, which is very cool. 25% increase in poison damage for any poisons that are on the boss. It adds up to a lot. It's going to be very good. We're going to try this champion. We're going to take this one to 60 next. Don't worry. So attacks one enemy, fills the turn meter of all allies by 2% for each debuff on the target. So if they have 10 debuff is the cap, you can get a 20% increase in turn meter. This is going to kind of throw off some counterattack champions setups with speed maybe in there. It's only every 3 turns for 20%, so it might not affect it. We'll have to do testing. And then here it is. So attack one enemy, has a 10% chance to place the poison sensitivity, 25% additional damage for poisons for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. The chances increase by 10% for each debuff on the target. Only thing I don't like about this is you're going to try to place it. If you don't place it early, the clan boss is going to start taking a lot of debuffs. More and more poisons, attack down, decreased defense, weaken, everything else. And then eventually the 10 slots are going to be full, and until something drops off and timing comes around, if it's full at 10 and then you're on auto, she tries to apply this, it's not going to work because it's at 10. The AI is not going to know, hey, well, you're at 10 debuffs. It's going to try to do this move, so you won't be able to slot it in there. If they do fall off and she tries to slot it in there, hopefully you're at like 8 or 9, and she's got a much higher chance, almost 100% chance to do it. If you're at 9, it is 100%. So I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out, and then she has to reapply it because it's only for 2 turns on this 3-turn cooldown, unless you have a vizier or somebody that can extend the debuffs on the clan boss. So her real effectiveness, I don't know. But if you have poison sensitivity up, I think she's going to be really great when we have new champions come out who do it on their own. When we have a new champion that does the 50% poison sensitivity, place it with her. That way that champion applies it right away. I'm sure they're going to have some champion that will apply it and not have to apply it in this fashion. Then we bring her in, and she's just going to start poisoning like crazy because this is 2 attacks. 100% chance on each attack to apply the 5% poison for 2 turns. This is really strong. Stronger than any epic out there that applies poison. Stronger than any rare that applies poisons. Probably the strongest out there so far, because even Skull Crown, who else do we have? A Cult Brawler, all the rest don't apply it at this frequency. Not at 100% chance on 2 attacks to apply the 5% poison. Pretty insane. So we'll try her out and see what we can do with her. Those are all the new champions for 1.13. I'm coming out with a lot of videos today, so be on the lookout. We'll do that all. Thank you all so much for the support and your time, and I'll see you guys on a video soon.